The Utah governor and some legislators want to expand the sales tax to most services that you and I purchase. They advanced a bill in the past general session, but the bill got stalled at the end. Still, they plan to try it again in a special session this summer. Broaden the base and lower the rate are words that we heard during the past legislative session, and we will hear them again this summer. When you hear those words, what do you think? What do they mean to you? Let's take a few minutes to explore this, because words mean things. And here's another great word: conflate. Conflate means to bring together, to fuse, and to confuse. It means to combine ideas or concepts, often in a way that confuses. Conflate is a great word in politics because it is often used to combine, obscure, and confuse issues. For example, conservative people want tax policy that promotes economic growth. We argue for lower income tax rates applied to a broader base of income as a stimulus to higher economic output. It makes sense. The lower the tax rate on income, the greater is your incentive to work hard to produce more income. So many of us, especially conservatives, readily recognize that good tax policy is to broaden the base and lower the rate. And this is true, but only so long as we are talking about income tax policy. Apply the same words to sales tax policy, and we get a completely different outcome. Broaden the base in sales tax is to simply begin to tax a lot of purchases that previously weren't taxed. Lowering the rate always sounds good, but we can't ignore this. In sales tax policy, we are talking about now applying a percentage tax rate to more transactions, to purchases that are currently taxed at a 0% rate. The lower rate is still way higher than the zero we are currently charged. So make no mistake, charging a lower rate but applying it now to almost everything we buy is not a tax cut. It is a very subtle, almost hidden tax increase. And everybody knows this because if this isn't a tax increase, then there would be no reason for them to want to do it. If it isn't really a permanent tax increase, then it wouldn't solve the budget imbalance problem that they say they're trying to solve. That lower rate is way more than zero, a lot more. We already pay tax on all of our income. We also pay a lot of tax on many of our purchases. Call it our outgo. So do we now really want to expand or broaden the taxable list to include nearly everything we buy? Shall we tax all income, then tax all outgo or purchases as well? That's not stimulative to the economy. In fact, it is exactly the opposite. And that is what you get when you conflate income tax policy with sales tax policy. They are two very different things. The same words, broaden the base and lower the rate. They sound very good for the one, but they are very damaging for the other. So let's not be fooled, let's not be confused, and let's not conflate these concepts. Whenever you hear the words broaden the base and lower the rate on sales tax in Utah, don't think this is the same conservative, stimulative economic growth policy that you embrace for income tax policy. Instead, now when you hear the words broaden the base and lower the rate, know that what it really means is start paying tax on nearly everything you buy. The bill failed to advance earlier this year, but it's coming back. The governor will call a special session of the legislature this summer to try again, to expand the sales tax to almost all of your purchases, your outgo. This is not good for you, or for me, or for anyone in Utah. So why are they doing this? It's simple. Because it produces more money in the general fund for the governor and the legislature to spend. Tell your neighbors, tell your representatives in the legislature, tell the governor, tell them that you oppose the effort to expand sales tax to the services you buy every day. And when you hear someone say this summer, let's broaden the base and lower the rate, just remember that what that really means is, let's charge everyone more tax on everything they buy so we can put more tax money in the state's general fund. Thanks for listening. Now go and make a difference.